You can fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You can have all you ever wanted.
On this week's episode, we have Indian composer and musician A.R. Rahman. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This show is all about giving you insights and showcasing brands that help you to live your best life and give you confidence. As always, I want to kickstart your morning with some motivational advice to help you to feel inspired and energized to start your day. Today, I want to talk about understanding that the pursuit of excellence is a lifelong process. Fulfillment and excitement comes from constantly improving yourself and never getting complacent. Successful people appreciate and celebrate their victories, but know that they must continue being a student in life and constantly strive to learn more, be more, and demand more from themselves. The reality is, when we're constantly in pursuit of evolving and committed to our personal development, we never become complacent because we understand that there will always be, metaphorically, a bigger mountain to climb. This knowledge serves as motivation to remain humble, hungry, and to remain a humble student in life. It's not about the destination or just attaining the next goal. It's about who we become along the way to our destination. As Andy Rooney quotes, "Everyone wants to live on top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you're climbing it."
Stay tuned. Coming up after the break,
I want to talk about Slumdog Millionaire. It's such an iconic film. How did you become a part of it? And did you feel a connection because it was set in India?
I think it's destiny.
Yeah.
I was supposed to meet Darriel. He had emailed me, and we could never meet. I was very busy that year, and I was in for a press meet or something in Mumbai, and then suddenly I had this text. "I'm in Mumbai. Where are you?" I said, "I'm in Mumbai too." I said, "I'm in this hotel. Where are you?" "I'm in the same hotel." And we met for breakfast, and he handed over the DVD of the first cut.
Wow. Wardrobe provided by H&M. Next up on the show, we have Oscar, BAFTA, Golden Globe, Grammy, and Academy Award Indian composer and musician A.R. Rahman. A.R., thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
It's an honor to have you on the show. I'm really, really excited to talk to you. But, before we talk about your successful career, let's take it back to the beginning. I know that your father was score composer. So let's take it back. How did that, develop your passion for music?
Yeah, I think music was all around me. My father, and then after he passed away, my mom had all this. He left all the music equipment, so we were renting that. Then she said, "I don't need to rent this if you learn to play." And it was her idea that I should take after my father. Very unusual in middle-class families where, don't do music, go find a job, become a doctor, become an engineer, and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I know that you started studying music at a very young age, at the age of 4, and by 11 you were already playing in the orchestra. And I know that, music takes a high level of commitment, discipline, focus. So do you feel like, playing music at such a young age kind of prepared you for the career you were going to have?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the 10 years I was in the studios, like from the age of 12 to 22, I think I'd played maybe more than 2,000, 3,000 sessions.
Wow.
And with different composers, different, musicality. And that's when I realized I have to do something more, not what I've been working with these composers, because they were very good and they were very focused on the regional stuff. But my aspirations were, if we listen to stuff which comes from abroad, why can't they listen to us?
Yeah.
That one primal question made me work towards what do we need? What does it take for our music to reach out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you made the bold decision to drop out of school to, become a musician. Did that come with any challenges, especially in a, South Asian household? I feel like, as you said, the norm is lawyer, doctor. So did it come with any challenges for you?
For me, I think my mother, because she was wife of a composer, my father,
Yeah.
and seen it all at a very young age, and she had 4 kids, and she managed the whole thing. So she believed that, it's useless doing any other job than what your dad did. So exactly. She made that bold decision. I was very skeptical. I was thinking, nobody's going to respect me, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to get. I'll be like looked down upon, and all these things come in because when you go to a school, and you look at other people, and you're different. But I think she made the wisest decision. That's why I respect her even now. And she passed last, 2020 December, but we all respect her as the founder of her family.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but she must be so proud of you, and she got to see you so successful. So, she got to see your career, which is a blessing. Some people don't, their parents, don't get to see it. So I want to talk about Slumdog Millionaire. It's such an iconic film. How did you become a part of it, and did you feel a connection because it was set in India?
I think it was destiny. I was supposed to meet Danny Boyle. He had emailed me, and we could never meet. I was very busy that year, and I was in for a press meet or something in Mumbai, and then suddenly I had this text. I'm in Mumbai. Where are you? I said, I'm in Mumbai too. I said, I'm in this hotel. Where are you? I'm in the same hotel. And we met for breakfast, and he handed over the DVD of the first cut.
Wow. Yeah.
So it was, I think, as I say, it's all destiny. And then I found where I left a couple of movies to do stuff, and because I always I gravitate towards directors who are more sympathetic towards music, who use music very well as a character, not just a wallpaper filler. And Danny is one such director. He uses music as a core, primal fact in a movie. Music drives the narration, and he doesn't use it everywhere. Wherever it comes like a hero.
Yeah.
So that played a major part in the success of the music.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know, I was reading your story, and I know your mom was telling you to drop out of school. So did you see any similarities in the movie Slumdog and maybe your own personal life?
No, we were not that dramatically poor or anything. We had a little car, we had a house. I had 3 sisters, and so my mom, she made the decision because she knew that she also had this very sixth sense about everything. And she said, somebody told me that I'll be getting a blessed, enlightened child or something.
Oh, wow.
So she believed in everything she did, and it freaks me out when I think about all that.
Yeah. Have you been surprised by the success you've had? Because you're one of the most, iconic and big names known in North America and all over the world. So have you been surprised or did you ever have an intuition that, dropping out of school and pursuing music, did you ever think that it would, be this big?
Strangely, I was popular from the age of 13. I was in national TV and regional TV and all this stuff. So it's not that fame was new for me, but the way I wanted to portray myself, the way I wanted to build my sound, shape my sound, that I'm very happy that, I'm able to do at least a percentage of that. There's still much left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's because I think coming from South India, and to break those, first of all, your walls within your mind, to break those, to widen your thinking and to believe in the infinite, all that takes courage and some kind of guidance within, and mostly the barriers are within yourself, not external barriers. If you break the internal barriers you have, then you succeed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still trying to break all those.
It's a lifelong process. It's actually the intro of my show is, it's all about your mind. Your mind basically dictates your whole life, right? It's actually so interesting. And if you shape your mind and your thoughts to work for you and have a winning mindset, I mean, anyone can be successful, right? So I think that's very true.
Exactly. So this is sort of like to know about these barriers and how to break them, how to not keep any negative emotions which brings your human potential down. This itself is a process, and if you master that, and you are successful in anything you do. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw that in an interview that you mentioned that you like to seek and, pursue something greater. You like to be a seeker. So let's talk about that statement. What did you mean by that?
The world is evolving constantly, right? It changes. Whatever we learn, it gets redundant very soon. So it's important to seek. Yesterday's knowledge is today's actually useless piece of data. And so if your mind can adjust to the evolving world and how you need to live your thing, I think that itself is it forces you to get interested in life. Because boredom is another thing you have to kill. And you live for long years of musical career and still finding that fire to do things more. That means you need to seek, you need to learn. Whether it's musical knowledge or whether it's spiritual knowledge or it's human connection or the way you refine yourself, many things, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. You always have to seek, because if you feel that you know everything, you become complacent and life is not exciting anymore, right? If you're not constantly seeking for something more. So I completely agree with you. I want to talk about, you've been in been part of a lot of Hollywood blockbuster movies, including 127 Hours with James Franco, Couples Retreat, $1 Million Arm, The 100-Foot Journey. And, each movie is so unique. What does it take to find the essence of a movie musically? What's the creative process? And is it something that comes naturally for you? Or is it a lengthy process?
In India, I think I'm really lucky to people not judging, you can only do Western or Indian or folk or classical. So everything which is thrown on you, you find your own voice, how to interpret that, and you do that. So I think that training helped me a lot when I do Hollywood movies, whether it's Pele, which is based on Brazilian, culture, whether it's The Messenger of God, it's Iranian, then whether it's Warriors of Heaven, which is Chinese, and the Hollywood, varied movies you talked about. And it puts you, because I'm a lover of music, and I don't, discriminate between this style and that style. Every piece of music goes to someone, and it's serving humanity, and it gives hope. So with that philosophy, I'm able to achieve what little I can do in varied projects.
And does it come naturally for you to create music and, find the essence of a movie? Because really, the music and the soundtrack is really what makes the movie also really good. Like with Slumdog Millionaire, it was the soundtrack that you created as well that really created the essence. So is it something that is difficult for you to do? Or is it just something that right away you can, create the essence from just, one shot?
The good thing about movie is you have a whole team. You have a director, and then you have a sound editor, and then we discuss a lot of stuff and say, hey, listen to this stuff, and we just pick some ideas from the palette of sounds. And recently I did a musical called Why in Dubai for the Dubai Expo. Shekhar directed it, and that's about kind of mixing every possible genre of music, because Dubai is such a place where all kinds of people coexist, and you can check it out on Apple iTunes and Why the Musical by Rahman, Shekhar Kapoor, and that's my latest. So when I did that, it's a very similar thing. Like every culture lives here in Dubai. Why don't we be inclusive even in the palette of sounds and the styles? And I know a lot of people were very skeptical about it, but in the end, all of them called me and said, like, I never knew that it's going to work.
Oh, wow.
But it's worked beautifully, because I think when you go beyond the divisive lines of humanity and you go for a larger ideal and higher ideal, then even the music has to do the same. So like should be like God's point of view at everything.
Yeah. Very nice. And AR, what is the biggest milestone the most memorable milestone that you've had so far? Because you've had so many accomplishments, but what's one milestone that's very special to you that you recall vividly?
I think being in musicals is a milestone, like getting interested in being active and being meaningful and relatable to today's audience is a milestone. But more than that, I think musical education to underprivileged children or to providing children the kind of knowledge which they are thirsty back in South India. And so I started the musical conservatory called KM Music Conservatory, and we teach Western classical, Indian classical, and all that stuff. And I'm the principal of that school, founder. And so when you see these kids who come from villages, sometimes from small towns, and turning into orchestrating an orchestra for a symphony orchestra, oh my God! In 4 years, this kid has learned something. In 5 years, this girl is playing Chopin, or in 6 months, a blind kid is playing Bach fugue.
Wow.
So these are the things which I feel like are unique and great milestones for. Other than, of course, scoring music, I think giving back to the society.
Yeah, absolutely. And is it surreal going back home and seeing, what if impact you've made in your hometown and all over the world, but, to go back to where you came from and, to see people inspired by your work, how does that feel?
It's, I can't take it seriously because it takes a second for people to react adverse for something, even if they respect somebody for 30 years or 40 years. So it's like Rudyard Kipling's thing. It's like fame is an imposter, and your own integrity is very important. How your conscience is important, and which is flattery and which is real praise and which is real criticism, which is hatred. And be very clear about it. I think that's more important than getting sucked into flattery or praise and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And you seem very humble and grounded. What does success mean to you personally?
For me, being in music and probably pushing the limits in expressing yourself and evolving much deeper, making things simpler and being more honest, and yet giving the surprise element. And this itself takes like a whole lifetime to achieve. Yeah. And we're all in the process, work in progress.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll refine and much more better things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I created this platform to uplift, to inspire our audience, and to showcase stories like yours, to showcase that anything's possible if you have a dream. So for our viewers that are watching, maybe someone who has a dream and is taking failure personally and maybe stopping because they're not seeing the results, what would you say to inspire them to go after their dreams?
I think life is a long journey. You should not be afraid of failing in one day. So if you don't get something in 1 week, take a month, or take 6 months, take a year. But ultimately, when you get it, you've reached a milestone. So nobody's going to watch how long you're taking for getting things. As long as you're very clear about the destination, and you might achieve on the way. You don't even have to go to the destination sometimes. So don't lose hope and don't think that you failed. There are many. The world keeps changing. And the old monsters and the old people who hated you or judging you are not going to be there when you start walking that path. Don't lose hope for anything and believe in yourself. Keep doing it, but be passionate. Don't cheat yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Procrastinate.
Yeah, it's really who we become along the journey, right? It's not really the destination, because the destination, once it's there, it's who we become along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for you. I know you're going to have a North American tour 2022. So let's talk about that. What can fans expect?
I think past 2 years been a downer for all of us. COVID and lockdown and cancellations, and so this is in a way an emotional get together with people who love their music and trying to do something which I don't want to reveal much, but we're trying to go towards one direction which is more exciting.
Very exciting. You left us with very little, but we're excited for it. Hopefully you come to Toronto and we get to see you play here.
Hopefully.
Well, AR, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's really an honor to have you, and hopefully we get to meet again in person.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. Good luck with everything.
Tag TV is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple and Android TVs, as well as on Apple and Android phones. Watch us live through YouTube and Facebook.
You can fly higher than